Hi, Megan. How you doing? All right. So I've got your post up here. Thank you so much for including your work and this wonderful written rationale to accompany your submission. So the one thing I've seen, I've gone through your presentation here, and I think you've done a fantastic job. The one thing we haven't mentioned, there's no mention, really, you don't talk too much about target audience other than this brief comment that says, let me see, I want to say that the audience is the same yet different with each topic. And I think that's really an ambiguous statement. The audience is the same yet different. That doesn't really define a target audience. And really, when one of the major um, first steps in any design is to define your target audience. And that makes sense because we communicate differently to different target audience. So theoretically, the more accurate we are in defining a target audience, the more accurate we can decipher the expectations and the needs of that target audience when it comes to communication. So defining a target audience is of relevant importance in any kind of design. So moving forward in the class, I'd like you to concentrate on really developing your target audience to the nth degree. So really as detailed as possible. Get right down to age and demographic if you can. There's I think one thing I find about a lot of design students underestimate the importance of establishing a very direct and relevant, accurate description of a target audience associated with any specific design project. So really, really try to work on that as we work through the class. Okay. And then the rest, I think, the rest of the writing here just indicates your intent as a designer. So that's fantastic. Let's go ahead and jump over to the presentation. So I think your subject matters are great. We've got mental health, we've got smoking, and then we've got the deforestation. So really, three really super hotbed topics that I think will provide plenty of opportunity for visual engagement. So this is fantastic. You've included these reference images, and that's really great. I've got one thing for you that I'm going to share. It's Edvard Munch, and he was a modernist artist, best known for this piece right here. It's called The Scream, and his work is very much indicative of the expression of mental trauma or mental illness as he explored his own mental illness through his art. So I think that this would be a really fantastic article for you to read in researching if you elect to pursue this direction in your poster design. I'll leave the link for this for you. So anyways, really good job including your reference photos. This image right here actually reminds me of the Scream. You've seen it. I mean, let me just open that guy for you. You've seen it, right? Remember this? Very, very, very famous painting that actually started the whole expressionist movement. So it's a very, very much a historically relevant piece. And I think researching that a little bit will give you some insight into your own project, should you choose or should you elect to follow this mental health um, direction. The sketches are great. I think they're really interesting. One thing I do want to mention about your sketches in general is this, is while you're working through your sketches for the class, try to push yourself as far as you possibly can in terms of um, your techniques associated with the illustrations that you're going to use to depict the subject matter in your posters. It's really, really important. This is a class in illustration, so digital illustration, so it should stand to reason that I'm looking for um, determined approach in that illustration, and try to push yourself. Really try to push yourself as far as you possibly can. Okay, so let's see, where are we? Next topic, the anti-smoking. That's great, and I love the way that you use this as your inspiration. That's great. You didn't copy. There's no copying here whatsoever. You just used this image as your inspiration for your interpretation of this poster. So that's cool. I'm not so sure about the message. Let them burn. I'm not real sure if that's a. It seems to me that message there's a little bit negative. It imparts unnecessary negativity, so to speak. Let them burn. So think about that should you pursue that direction. And then finally, the deforestation. I think this is really interesting. Really a great example of mixing type with illustration. I love it. I think this is fantastic. And then this, of course, is another pretty interesting approach. So listen, you're free to go in any direction you feel has the most potential. I think all three have a lot of possibilities. Love the mental health approach. I think that one could be a really powerful, powerful piece. And again, should you elect to go that route, be sure to research this page. It's a quick read, and it's really super interesting too. So, all right, great job. As I said, please feel free to pursue the direction you feel has the most potential. And please let me know if you have any questions or need further clarification. Thank you very much, Megan.